Guys, this is Mike with Vant Trading, and I wanted to do a quick video for you to go over some books that I think are pretty decent books for new traders and experienced traders looking to maybe add an edge to their trading. Now, a lot of traders, when they start, they start their process of trying to become a good trader. They typically start their education by reading a book or looking at a YouTube video. And you got to be careful because a lot of information now is put out there that is free, but not all the information that's put out there is good information. And having been in this business for over 30 years, I've seen a lot, and the majority of it, unfortunately, just not worth your time. And really, you got to be careful. It's kind of like, you got to make sure that you filter what you're putting into your system as far as what you're reading and what you're giving yourself access to. You want to make sure, because all advice is not good advice. And that's something my mentor told me about 28 years ago when I started at Lehman Brothers. And, it's kind of stuck with me to today. So let's dive in on, I got 5 to 6 books that I think are decent books. I didn't want to overwhelm you. I know Tyler put out his list and he had a really good list. But I think you'll notice on my list, there's a lot of books that aren't just focused on trading because, really it comes back down to the focus of what makes a really good trader. And it's not really looking for a good indicator or something like that. I think you're going to see a common theme, and I'll kind of recap it as we get towards the end. Okay, the first book I want to go over is called Mindset by Carol Dweck. And this is a must read for new traders and even experienced traders because this book will go over the basics of, how, your framework and your belief system is on how you're learning and basically how you go about your life. And she talks about a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. And, a lot of people don't even realize that, what type of mindset that they come into. And basically the difference is a growth mindset basically is a mindset where you feel you have control over your surroundings. You have control over your life. You have control over whether or not you are getting the things you want to get, whether you're successful. A fixed mindset basically is a mindset where, I basically, some things are out of my control. I can't get better. Example of fixed mindset is, I just don't have a high IQ. I'm just not good at learning. And, a lot of people that come in with a fixed mindset, it kind of holds them back. So you want to, it spells out really, how you want to make sure that you have a growth mindset, because this is fundamentally important, especially if you're a trader, because, with a business, where there is such a high rate of failure, you really need to understand that, it's you that dictates whether you are successful or not successful. And that's why I think this book is really important. The next book I have on the list is called Trade Mindfully by Gary Dayton. This one really, really important. He goes into depth on heuristics and the common heuristics that traders have that really hold them back on their trading. And see, the basis of this book is that, heuristics are basically biases. See, our brain through the years in order to really help us kind of compartmentalize things and kind of smoothly move forward in life, think about the thousands of different thoughts and processes that your brain goes through. Well, there's a lot of shortcuts that your brain uses that you don't even realize you're using to help you cut down on your decision-making process and to, move forward and do things at a faster pace. But the problem is some of these shortcuts, some of these biases that you have inherent into your decision-making process are not really good for you when you're into a more detailed, result-oriented trading business, and that they really come into one of the main reasons that you are being held back. And traders, because they are shortcuts and that you would use these without even thinking about them, you don't even realize you're doing it, like confirmation biases. We talk about the confirmation bias all the time. You had a bad trade, so you bring that, well, this trade's not going to work out, and you bring that in here. Or even, confirmation biases. And he talks about, a lot of traders, I see traders that, they litter their charts with all these different types of indicators and, stuff like that, these tools, and, again, a lot of traders will come and say, you know what, I got RSI on my charts, I have stochastics on my chart, and they both point it up. Well, guess what? They're both pointing up because they're the same freaking indicator, okay? They're measuring the same thing, just albeit a little bit differently. And so really what you're doing is you're just looking for that confirmation bias on that. And there's a lot of different heuristics. I think this is maybe one of the most eye-opening books and one of the most important books that you can really read that's on this list. The next book I want to go into, you may actually laugh about, but I've recommended this book for the last couple of years to all the mentors that we've brought in, and it's a great book. And the traders that have read it really got it and understood it. It's called Golf is Not a Game of Perfect by Bob Rotella. And this is a great book in the fact that, golf and trading, you know what? They're really kind of the same. I mean, they're mental games, right? And what he talks about in this book is, he talks about what the most successful golf traders. See, I actually put those together. What the most successful golfers do, and he breaks down, how they are so consistent at the swing that they make day in and day out. And really what he talks about is the approach they take. And so every time you see a golfer step up to the tee, some golfers, really great golfers, have very odd swings that technically aren't sound swings, but they're very successful. And the reason they're very successful is because the key to success that he found is that all the successful golfers, they develop an approach, a routine, and they follow through with that. Now, what I mean is that when they step up and it's their time to take a shot, okay, they have a certain system and routine that they follow, and they never, ever deviate from that system or routine. And, what that does is it takes away the fear that they may be thinking about. It takes away a portion of the mind game that they may be thinking about. And it's the same thing in trading that you need to do, right? And we talk about this all the time, and this is kind of where my trader checklist came from. So every trader that we have on our desk, every trader that we are mentoring, we have them put together a trader checklist. And that checklist is basically their routine and their process that they go through every single time prior to putting on a trade. And see, you don't know how the market's going to go. You don't know how the stock's going to go. All this stuff is bullshit, right? But what you can control is the way you approach trading and the way you take a trade. Okay. And so this trader checklist, I developed completely off of this book and based off this concept. So again, must read. I know it's about golf, says not one thing in there about trading, but to me, really, really important book. The next book is more of a classic. It's Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Mark Douglas, read the book. I think it's a must read if you're going to be a trader. He talks about the mental game of trading and the processes that traders should be using. But what's even better, I think, than the book is you can find on YouTube, and I credit Chris from our mentor group on that, New York Chris, he kind of pointed it out to our group, but there's like a 5-part 5-hour series that Mark, on a lecture he gave, and it's on YouTube. It's free and you can pull that up. But Mark Douglas is somebody I would definitely look up to, definitely follow, and definitely read. It's good, definitely gives you good information if you're looking to take day trading seriously. The next book is called Super Trader by Van Tharp. Now, Super Trader, there's also Trading in the Matrix. All his books are good. Van Tharp was my original mentor in trading. He passed away this year. I'm very sad about that. But you cannot go wrong with Van Tharp. I mean, Van Tharp basically, he coined the whole R multiples. When you talk about R multiples, risk management, position sizing, coming up with a trading plan, treating trading like a business. That's all basically what Van Tharp has put out there. And, before he died, he had a Super Trader course that was, and people were paying $30,000 to $50,000 to take this course. Kind of gives you an idea of the level of education. So getting even a glimpse into his mindset through his books is definitely valuable and worthwhile. And, any new trader coming in, they should definitely be reading the Van Tharp books because they're the best books. Even the older books, they all go through, going through the R multiples, the way it goes through position sizing, trading plan. And again, you're not going to find a lot of, this indicator or this, that. No, it's all about the process of what it takes to be a good trader. And I always talk about with our traders having good systems, right? Systems are important. And, I kind of got that from my mentor, like I said, Van Tharp. The final book on here is a relatively newer book. It's the Playbook, How to Think Like a Professional Trader from Mike Bellafiore. He is one of the co-owners of SMB Capital. And, everybody knows pretty much by now that Nick, who, he's not with us or on the YouTube channel as much as he used to be, because I put him in charge of working on the fund, working with the traders. But Nick started out his trading, up in New York with, got a job at SMB Capital, very competitive to get in there. They are the top prop shop. So very proud of him getting in there with SMB. And that's how he cut his teeth. He was up there for 2-3 years working with Mike, side by side with Mike. And, Mike's a great guy, and he put together, I never met him, but he's a great guy. He's got a lot of good information. And if you're looking for a prop shop, SMB Capital is the best one out there. So definitely give him his props on that. And this is a great book. He has 2 books. He has One Good Trade, and then he has this Playbook. And, One Good Trade kind of goes into the prop shop industry and stuff like that. And it's a good book to kind of read. The Playbook gets more into the trading side, structuring the trades, some of the common pitfalls and stuff like that. So it gives you a good pathway if you're a new trader. So definitely recommend that book. And I think it's a really good book. I mean, there's so many books out there that I could have recommended. You got Reminiscence of a Stock Operator. You got to read that, but everybody kind of recommends that book. There's a lot of good books out there, but these to me are my core. Okay. And if I was to add one more, it would be a meditation book if you're not currently doing meditation. Because, meditation is so important to trading. And if you look at all the books that I put up here, none of these books are going to say, hey, this is the trade you should take, and this is the way you should take it, and you should use this indicator. All of these books are basically your holy grail. These books are the secret to being a good day trader. You cannot be successful long-term without what's taught in these books. So guys, look, be careful out there with the information you're getting. There's a lot of, there's a Discord this and a Discord that and YouTube this, YouTube that. I mean, look, you got to be careful about the information you're putting into your, that you're bringing into your mind, because, feeding it bad info, if you basically inject poison, it's going to what? Kill you or make you sick, or not make you do well. Well, it's the same thing with the information that you allow into your mind. So this is really what the secrets of being a great trader are locked into these books. Read them if you're successful. Okay, I hope you have a good day and safe trading.